Good Wednesday morning of All Souls Day, November 2nd. You see, and I just said an awful lot of what I was thinking. I was thinking about these 2 days for the past week. I thought, what am I going to say on All Saints Day and All Souls Day? Because they really are poignant days for me. They hurtle me back to my past. You can see it. And I don't know who's watching these videos, but I know they're friends from all over, especially in my no Alaska friend. Look, I got my Alaska shirt on. And it's also the red shirt is Alaska from St. Nick's in Alaska. It's my Alaska day, let's call it that, okay? But I remember, it's a time of remembrance for me. I don't know why so many, I think it's because in October is my birthday. And I remember because of my birthday, and it's the beauty of October as it passes. It's a symbol of life's beauty. October is a symbol of life, and in many ways, in its color, but in its transition from life to death. November is the month of death, as it were. That's why it's All Souls. It's not a beautiful month. Thanksgiving's a throw-in, okay? But it is not. It's the beginning of winter. The air has got bite into it. It's cold. It's beginning to be significantly cold. Depends on where you are, and of course, the leaves are bare, you see. But in that starkness, there is beauty itself. But you have to see it. And I think see it with wisdom and truthfully, with a wisdom asking no more of life than it can give, but with hope that also watch me throw this I know. In the hope of the darkness and the starkness of November, there is Christmas and Easter forthcoming. It's not just death, it's death with hope. And that's the feast day we celebrate today. We're praying for the dead, all our beloved dead. You know, the liturgy here is every possible choice you have for funeral liturgy. It's what it is. It's just a huge funeral liturgy in which we are praying for our beloved dead with the hope, the faith that death is not final, and the hope that we will join each other again in the paradise of all saints. You see. How could you not miss this? It's a poignant liturgical symbol of life and death, but a life and death with hope. It really is. And it's funny why I think about it so poignantly, but I actually think it's because the November follows, it follows my birthday and the loss of the color of October. On the other hand, it's one of my favorite times of the year for another reason, because deer season, in 2 weeks is deer season. And that is such a part of me. For 50 years, I looked forward to deer. I counted life for how many deer seasons I had left. I'm going to go out this year. I bought my deer tags just the other day, but I doubt I'll ever take. I'll show you an example as you get old. I've heard other hunters say the same thing. They go out, but they don't shoot. And I think what happens as you get old, you realize the beauty and power of life itself. And so you don't want to take life. You want to rejoice in life. Last year, I was only out for 2.5 hours. That's unbelievable for me, because I would go out, deer season, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, part of Monday, afternoons, especially when I lived in Kentucky, I would race out in the afternoon after class and hop in my tree stand for an hour. It's a true story. I went out for 2.5 hours. I saw 7 deer in the course of 2 days, 2.5 hours on 2 Saturdays, okay? I saw 7 deer and passed on all of them. What I say? I'll go out and make some babies. I don't want to shoot you. You see? That wouldn't have happened 5 years ago. I would have taken a buck or whatever, you see? I don't want to take life anymore. I want to celebrate life. So I might go out. I think if Ted Shellhart wants to go, I don't want to go by myself. It's not safe to hunt by yourself, especially at my age. You fall out of the tree, you're going to be stuck for a while, you see. So you always want companionship in the woods, for safety, especially at my age, all right? But on the other hand, aesthetically, I love being out there and I love seeing the deer. But no more the desire to shoot the deer, you see, to take the deer. I never thought that would ever happen, but that is a celebration of life. Other hunters have told me the same thing, to be honest with you, that they don't want to shoot anymore. They don't want to take life anymore, but yet they want to hunt, and that's something. I don't know, I even brought this up. I have never talked about this stuff before on one of these videos, I'm just thinking of the time of the year. All Souls Day is the time when we remember the dead and pray for the dead. Maybe ask for forgiveness from the dead, those we have loved, but loved imperfectly. As we share with them the hope of paradise, with them, I hope you forgive me for being such a jerk at times, you know? And I think of the men in the order who went before me, who are all gone. I wonder, does anybody remember them? They have no children. We have no children, no grandchildren, great-grand. You might be a picture on a wall somewhere. Oh, that was Grandpa's brother. That was our great uncle or something. But I think in many ways we are forgotten. You know, I think of the old monks. Does anybody care? I remember taking my Sarah one time. She visited me, and we came together in Jamaica, Long Island, okay? I was there, I think it was just last year. I don't know. Sarah was living in New York, and I was there for the chapter meeting, and she came to have dinner with us, okay? My little Sarah. So I took her to the backyard, and I told her, Sarah, we used to walk this thing quietly. There was a guy, I think I told you this, one of the monks was walking, and I said to him, that's a monk. Well, look at how he walks. He walks quietly and with his thoughts and his prayers. Or see a couple of guys walking, chatting quietly in friendship. But I took her to the cemetery, and I showed her the men's graves. And I said, these men, I said, some of these men are real heroes to me. Some are only markers of men who are still buried somewhere in China. They died 100 years ago, you see. But then there was pictures of the men that were so good in my life. And I said, this man, that one, I remember him with love. I hope somebody else remembers him, you see. I'm very aware of being the reality of being forgotten, you see. And I hope to be remembered, you see, in some manner of love, as I remember my family. I love to go to the cemetery when I'm home because I stand at the foot of the graves of my family, and you see other people standing there. What do you think they're doing? They're remembering and they're praying. That's what they're doing. They're remembering. And often you'll see a flower put there. You'll see some symbol. Or you see people touch the headstones, the gravestones, with affection. Why? Because they're remembering those they have loved and been loved by. They are not forgotten. That is All Souls Day. It's a day in which we remember those we have loved and been loved by. We are not forgetting them, but we are remembering with love. In our memory, we touch the gravestone and say, thank you for loving me and letting me love you. Thank you.